My friend Peter Reed Miller has died. He was a dear friend to me and a great mentor for 35 years of my life. I'll tell you more about it in a minute. I don't have a script for this, and this is not about Sony stuff, so if that's what you're looking for, you may as well just go to the next video. The sports photography community lost a giant on Sunday, January 11th, 2026, when Peter Reed Miller was found dead in the morning by his lifelong partner, Callie. I was at Mass when she tried to call me, and I texted and said, "Is everything okay?" And she said, "Peter passed away this morning." And I got up and left church and was pretty upset. I just talked to him the Thursday before, and we just had a wonderful lunch together in October. I was out in LA for a Paulist Fathers meeting, and we sat in the sunshine and sat outside and had a really nice burgers, and he had a beer, I had Diet Coke or whatever, and that was the last time I saw him face to face, and Thursday was the last time I'll ever hear his voice live again. It's hard. Peter was an incredible mentor for me. There were lots and lots of people that worked for Sports Illustrated back in the day, but very few had the width and breadth that Peter did in terms of what he was able to shoot. Peter was a master lighting expert. He could make beautiful portraits of people on location anywhere and could create the most, elaborate lighting setups, utilizing tons of gear and rental trucks, and just unbelievable. I was very fortunate early in my career. I got to assist for him a lot, and we did a bunch of cover shoots together. Once he rented out the entire North Wilkesboro Speedway the week after a race had run there, and he did an ad campaign for Visa, the credit card company. And in that process, he had rented 5 NASCAR crews and cars. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. To say Peter was big time is, it doesn't really cover it. He could break any budget for a photo shoot. I mean, he flew first class almost everywhere he went. He milked it, man, for all it was worth. And I'm sure that, that the people at SI, if there's anybody left that used to do expense counts that involved him, they're probably the only people glad he's gone, because he was complicated and he could spend money like nobody else I ever knew. But he was also incredibly gracious and kind and patient. He was a really wonderful teacher. He helped hundreds of photographers at his workshops through the years. I met him in 1990 at the Sports Photography Workshop by Rich Clarkson in Los Angeles. And, we had all these wonderful photographers from SI that came in and gave talks, like John McDonough came and talked about the NBA and using strobes, basketball. There were just, incredible talent back then. And Peter came and gave a talk and showed some images from the many Olympics he'd been to, and then lots of his portraits. And then he came out with us. He showed up at the swimming at the pool, at the outdoor pool at UCLA, and he brought with him an 800 millimeter 5.6 lens. I'd never even seen one before. I mean, I'd seen, in the back of B&H catalogs, I'd seen the listing for one and what it cost, but I'd never actually seen one in person. And he brought this thing out there, and we were shooting water polo at the pool. And I went up to him and I said, "Man, how do you even get that in focus?" And he said, "Well, it's actually easier to focus than a 6. And I thought, well, a 6 is really hard to focus. How do you do that? Because this is way pre-autofocus. This is before, Canon ever figured it out. And then he did something unthinkable. He handed me his lens and let me shoot the rest of the afternoon with an 800 5.6. that was the beginning of our friendship and his mentorship of me getting into Sports Illustrated eventually. Peter made a call a couple weeks later to a guy named David Boss, who worked for NFL Properties, which was back then the NFL actually kept all of their photo archives themselves. And he talked to David, and David gave me a call out of the blue and said, hey, we're interested in having you shoot for us. I understand you can drive to either Cincinnati or Atlanta. And I began to, wherever they were, I would go. And that's how I started. About a year after that, Peter called me and said, hey, I wanted to tell you I called VJ Lavero. Now, I knew who VJ was. I'd never met him. I've never been a baseball guy, but VJ was like a master of baseball photography. And he was an incredible shooter, but he also started something called the Lavero Group. And they were the sole source provider of images to Upper Deck, which was back then a kind of a new trading card company that competed against Topps and Fleer. And basically what happened is Peter basically formulated this relationship between myself and VJ. And VJ called me and said, hey, if you're not working for SI, you're working for me from now on, every Sunday. And so I really had a ticket to the NFL. It was unreal. And I ended up doing a lot of rookie card shoots for the NBA with them. I did NASCAR when they did a NASCAR set. One of the most magical times of my life was one summer. Upper Deck had decided to do minor league trading cards, and they looked at all the photographers they had on contract and realized I lived in Knoxville, Tennessee in the South. And the southeastern United States is where so many of the farm teams were for the major leagues. And so they sent me this incredible opportunity. They just sent me a list of games and said, we're going to have all of our photographers shooting all these games, but we want to give you first dibs because you can drive to all of them. And so they said, look, you have carte blanche this summer. Go where you want and bill us. And I literally was able to make my own routing and everything. And I must have shot 30, 40 games that summer. And I would go early and do headshots, lit portraits in the dugout of each team, sometimes both teams at the same time. And all this is because of Peter, because of a phone call and trust between Peter and VJ. Peter vouched for me and said, Patrick is ready for you and he'll do you a great job. And I tried to do my best. Eventually, Peter called me and said, okay, you're ready to go to New York. Buy your ticket and let me know when you're going to go. And so I bought a ticket to New York City, which seemed crazy to me. Even now when I look back, it's incredible. And he said, when you get to the Time Life building on 6th Avenue, give me a call from a payphone, because this is before cell phones and stuff. I had a Sky Pager, and we all had Sky Pagers back then. So I called him from a payphone on 6th Avenue, and I said, I'm about to go in. And he says, okay, good. I'm going to call each editor one at a time and make sure that you're handed off from one to the other. Otherwise, you'll end up in the elevator lobby and you'll be done. And he said, when you're finished with your last person at Sports Illustrated, I want you to call me from the office. Just ask them if you can use a phone and call me. So I did that. And he had prearranged for me through a person who will not be named at Sports Illustrated to get a vendor elevator pass. So this is like what FedEx would get or the mail service. You'd get this pass to be able to go in the building and deliver mail or whatever. And so he arranged for me to get one of these things. And he basically I was able to walk in cold into Money Magazine and People Magazine and Time Magazine and walk in with my portfolio and show them my work. And finally, I ran out of magazines to visit at the Time Life building, and I left. I think I was inside the building for 3 or 4 hours continuously. I had a big stack of cards, business cards from people, and I just can't communicate to you how how important mentorship is. Mentorship is like the only way to go in photography, especially sports photography, which is so difficult to learn how to do. And Peter was so good at explaining things that are complicated and hard to people that want to learn. And he did that at so many workshops, and he did it for Rich Clarkson, then he did his own workshops. And so many of you have been reaching out to me, responding to my post about Peter's passing, and so many of you have been to his workshops and at least watched his videos on YouTube, and it's a wonderful thing. It's really a wonderful thing. I guess I'm running out of gas, but Peter was my dear friend. I miss him. Do yourself a favor and do a Google search. Go to si.com and then put in the search, put in Peter Reed Miller. You could look at hundreds of his Sports Illustrated covers. Some are action pictures, some are portraits. He could do it all. Do a Google search for him and look at some of his photographs. He was an amazing, gifted photographer, but he never got too big for his britches. At any game, anybody could go up to him, start up a conversation, and he would help you. He'd give you tips or whatever. He was just a wonderful person. He'll be greatly missed by the sports photography community. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this.